I'm Dan McGuire and welcome to the Food Pill Diet. In your package that you would have received Cycle Up bottles like this and then actual food packs like this. So during the Cycle Up week, you'll actually see right on here there's an actual schedule along with an email that you'll actually get the Cycle Up schedule. So on day one, your first meal, 7 a.m. for example, if you want to start then, you take 6 pills, and then at 2 hours later at 9 a.m. you take 6 pills. And then 2 more hours later at 11, you then bump up to 8 pills, and then 8 pills, then 10, 10, 12. This slowly increases the pills every 2 hours over a given week. And the concept here is to allow your body to slowly adjust to taking food in a new form. The idea is to get your microbiome to adjust to these ingredients, but also this is to make sure that you don't have any food allergies. We want to make sure that obviously everyone has actually read the ingredients. And this is to slowly introduce the ingredients into your system just to make sure that you don't have any food allergies. Now, lo and behold, you were to get a rash or a hives while cycling up, stop it immediately. That obviously means that you probably do have a food allergy to one of the ingredients. Now, these are pretty standard. This does not have most of the ingredients that might cause allergies like peanuts, etc. So we were very selective in choosing the ingredients to try to eliminate that. But we just want to make sure that during the Cycle Up that people are cautious that obviously some people out there, at least 1% of the population may have food allergies. Now, the 3 bottles, there's 520 pills per bottle. A little extra, there's about 516 that you need in each bottle to exactly get you through the Cycle Up. But the machines make it so there's 520 in each bottle. So this will take you through the first entire week. During that week, you want to eat traditional food while you Cycle Up. The idea being here is you're slowly going to tweak yourself off of traditional food. So eat traditional food like you normally would, just take the pills. Towards the end of the week, perhaps the 6th and 7th day, as you up the intake of the food pills, you'll become a little less hungry. So we have people who will then start to take a little bit less food towards those last few days. So if you want to transition off of eating traditional food, you could do that. Or if you want to keep eating traditional food until you actually jump onto the full food pill diet. Now, in the 8th day, you're going to start the full food pill diet. Now, in here, this is enough pills for one entire day. There's 8 meals, okay? So each bag contains 50 food pills. You have all your your food label ingredients here for the entire day, and then if you open it up, you'll have the food label for each individual meal pack. You'll be hitting over 100% of your daily recommended values for everything except for vitamin D, which you need to get sun, or B12, which is something that you actually normally get from eating animals. So those are the 2 things that we couldn't actually get into the diet. Once you start the full food pill diet on the day 8, you no longer want to take or have traditional food. The idea is that as soon as you wake up, 7 a.m., you take your first food pill pack, and then every 2 hours you're going to take another food pill pack. Now, during the Cycle Up period, you're going to slowly have gotten used to swallowing pills. We recommend not swallowing more than 1 pill for liability purposes so you don't choke, but I mean, people do take 2. But if you start taking more than 3, 4, 5 pills, I know some people who will actually take an entire handful. It is possible, but there's a choking hazard, so we want to not recommend that. The other issue is if you don't swallow it correctly, and it just even happens to you once and you get some food pills caught in your throat, it kind of builds up a barrier to wanting to not swallow pills. So if that happens once, it's going to make you not comfortable with following the food pill diet because you have this apprehension of wanting to swallow pills. So we recommend, at least for the first few weeks, just stick to just slowly taking food pills. So 1 or 2 food pills per swallow so that your body gets used to the mechanism of swallowing and becomes just super easy. Now, some tricks to actually swallowing the food pills. I myself and some people have actually said that using salsa water, because of the bubbles, almost tricks your brain into thinking that you don't have food pills in your mouth, and becomes easier. If you don't like using salsa water, you can go ahead and just use a cup of water. You should be drinking at least 12 ounces of water per the individual food meal pack, and this is very important because obviously these are all dehydrated products. So if you're not consuming enough water throughout your day, then you may get a dehydration headache. So if you have obviously 8 meal packs, you should be swallowing at least 12 ounces per meal. And then in between those meals, a 2-hour window, obviously consume other beverages so that you're obviously well hydrated on the meal. Some things to note is during the cycle up period, you're going to be taking a lot of vegetables. Your microbiome is going to need to adjust to this, so you may become a little bit more gassy. This is as if you were eating salad, 8 times a day. So some suggestions are to go get some Gas-X and take some Gas-X to mitigate any type of gas during the transition week, or Beano. Other than that, once you get into taking the food pills and not having traditional food, it usually takes about 24 to 48 hours where you completely transitioned off of food, that you start to realize that you're not as hungry. What ends up happening is because you're consuming every 2 hours, your hunger hormone ghrelin is not released into your stomach, and actually becomes less and less over time. This is almost like a fasting diet. Because you're tricking your brain into not tasting food, you become not hungry. Now, the trick here is to not eat any traditional food. From Beta Group, we've had people where they would say, oh, I'm just going to have one truffle fry while I'm out. And then as soon as they had, a taste of food, all of a sudden all this hunger comes back. So you definitely want to transition away from trying to taste any traditional food, because it will bring back all the sensations of hunger. Ghrelin will get released and your body will become more hungry, and it'll be harder to actually stay on the diet. So stay off of traditional food. Now, obviously, we're all human, so if you're at a event or a party, you can have some food, but just keep in mind that you're going to realize that you are more hungry as soon as you start to taste the food. Now, the calories that you're going to be consuming is only 1,000 calories, very minimal. This is why you can have obviously substantial weight loss. But because of the way we make up the actual ingredients here, it's a lower sodium diet. We don't want you to work out like you traditionally would. So, going to the gym or, going for a run every day and sweating a lot, you're going to lose a lot of your sodium and potassium, magnesium. So we would suggest to actually just do a 30-minute walk in the morning and then a 30-minute walk in the evening, at least during the transition, while you get onto the food pill diet. Now, if you don't want to listen to that and you are actually going to do intense workouts, your sodium level is going to be lower, so you'd want to take electrolytes, for example, like Gatorade, or even eating pickles would bring it back up those levels of electrolytes that you would need. So other than that, feel free to ping me with any emails or phone calls, and I'm happy to answer any questions as you transition, and we're excited for you to start the food pill diet.